Good evening and welcome to Her Majesty blog, where we bring together the world of pageants with the aim of revolutionizing beauty standards and creating social development through women empowerment. My name is Nonele and I am your host this evening. Now, on this particular series called It Is Within Her, which is also our slogan, we chat to all the amazing women at the forefront of pageantry as they let us in on their different journeys of becoming pioneering and purposeful women. Now, these are the directors, the founders, and organizers, as well as the queens. And tonight we are joined by Miss Tshwane Regions 2025, Ouma Francis Shai. She will be unpacking her journey with us tonight, so stick around for this. Please remember that you have to secure your seats on our platform by following us on all our social media pages. We are, of course, Her Majesty Organization everywhere. And she is here.
I hope it's
Hi!
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good on yourself.
I'm well, thanks. Now, my only problem is that I cannot see your face properly. Could you adjust your angle a bit? Like,
Okay, let me try. Let me try. I don't know what's happening. Can you now see me? Thing is, now I'm holding my phone with my hand
oh,
and I'm trying to
oh,
balance it. But when I put it
okay,
like
Shai.
this, you can see. Can you now see me?
I can see you. Yeah, you're just a bit blurry, but I can see you.
Let me fix. I'm sorry I didn't get enough time to prepare because I came back very late today.
No,
But I hope the public forgives me.
I'm sure.
Okay, am I now here? Am I
Yes,
now better?
that's much, yeah, much better. You can just lean back a bit so that I can see, like, yes, yes. I want to see your sash. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure they'll forgive you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Miss Ouma Francis Shai, how are you?
I'm very much good, thank you. And how are you?
I am well, thank you so much. Now, in the midst of those ankles and everything, I just want to cool you down, yeah, but so we're gonna play an icebreaker.
All right. Can I please put my phone on silence because I can see people are already texting me on WhatsApp.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, done.
Sure thing. So the first question is, do you prefer evening wear or swimwear?
Sure.
I could have guessed.
Sure.
I
My
could.
personality says it all. Simo is the best for me
Mhm.
because I feel like I can actually reveal more of my personality during swimwear. Most models don't don't like swimwear, but I love it. I
Yes.
love it.
I mean, a lot of people are uncomfortable with swimwear, you know. This is where you get to showcase how confident you really are.
Yeah, that's why I always prefer swimwear. And
Yes.
I don't
So
think
you,
I'll.
so
Hmm?
I can tell that you are a confident queen. You are comfortable in your own skin, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking about confidence, now you did mention that you are a mom, you know. So as a model mom, a lot of people tend to lose their confidence, you know, they shy away from such segments as swimwear. How did you, maintain your spark, staying confident in your body after the whole transition?
I I believe I'm God's favorite child. I Most women after giving birth, I hope this young woman here doesn't disturb me, but we've spoken about it, and she promised not to disturb. I'm sorry about that because I saw her coming my way. Um, most women, I've noticed that most women after giving birth, they start having some things happening in their bellies, but I never experienced that. I actually prayed about it.
Yes.
I've actually noticed that I'm a prayer warrior during my pregnancy stage. So immediately after, I told God that I would really want to go back to modeling. And remember, that was before Ms. SA announced that someone with kids could actually join. So
Yeah.
I just prayed to God about it, and then boom, after giving birth, I didn't have to put anything for my body to get back to its normal size. Everything just happened within a space of 2 weeks. And yeah, a year later, that's when Miss SA announced that I can enter. So that's why I'm saying that I'm God's favorite child. I don't know what happened to me. I don't have any recipe or remedy,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
No, yeah, you literally are God's favorite child. I mean, your body just naturally going back to its normal state. You really are God's favorite, and you get to come hunt him and be like, listen, I want to go back to modeling after this, okay?
exactly. And if I don't tell you that I have a child, you wouldn't notice my
Mm-hmm.
body that, yeah, you wouldn't notice with my body that I'm actually a parent.
Sure.
Most people are shocked when I tell them that I have this big person living with me that she's gonna be bigger than me. I can see her even now, but yeah,
Mm, sure.
she's mine.
Yeah, you are a petite queen. So you speak about God and the influence over your pageantry journey. How has that like guided you through your modeling career?
Growing up, remember, we don't choose as someone young. You don't decide for yourself. But I'm very much grateful that I grew up in a very Christianity family where I would, can I say forced? I don't want to say forced, but I knew that I have to always be at Sunday school every Sunday in the morning. Fridays I have to be at church. I mean, say youth, and Sunday afternoon I must be at church. So I grew up just believing in God, and what I could say was a bit of a tough one is the fact that I loved pageantry. I loved modeling from an early age. From I think crèche, I would always walk at home, like on the passage. My grandmother would always see me modeling, and that could sometimes serve as a disadvantage to people around the community being too much into church, and then now you wanna go around walking in swimming costumes.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being something that I've always loved, I never considered what people said because my family has always been, specifically my grandmother has always been supportive towards my journey. So what people said didn't matter. And I always prayed to God that I want to see myself getting to the part where I want to get. Um, maybe, I don't know when, I can't say this yet, if I would consider to go to the pageant that I've always prepared for since 2014. If I happen to win that pageant, maybe I could step back. But for now, I'm still gonna go. Yes.
Sure. You are very, you are very assertive. You know exactly where you're headed. Love that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Christianity does add an element of conservatism. People want to be modest about their bodies. You grow up being told that your body is a temple, you must respect your body and whatnot. Yeah. Now you speak about, you mentioned your upbringing and you grew up in Tshwane, Limpopo, right? Could you
Mhm.
kindly take me through that? How was baby Ouma? How, like the whole transitioning from baby to a child to a teenager to the young woman that you are today?
I, I, you know, I, I've always been forward. I've always been this. I've always been this talkative Ouma from my young age. I've always been very talkative and energetic, but I'm from a township where we are limited. We are limited in resources. It's very rare for a person to just come out and shine, and the public would notice. It's still a difficult support from the community. It's not something that you would wake up and receive. So growing up, I've always one day be Miss, I don't know, represent South Africa somewhere international. That
Mm-hmm.
that was always my dream, and for a fact that I would dream about it, talk about it, but no one would listen to me when I talk about it was the disadvantage. And looking at the type of family that I come from was also a disadvantage. Remember that our industry is populated in a way that you would think it's for the rich. And
Yes.
I'm from a family that fight. We fight to get what we want. We are hustlers. We 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 are all about making sure that you don't sleep until you get what you want. We don't just wake up and get the bread on the table. You must work hard for it. So it was kind of a disadvantage for me to pursue some of my dreams. But I had to make sure that I don't sleep on myself. That is why right now I am where I am, and I believe that I could still go further. So growing up in a township that it's not really recognized, we can take yeah, we can take actually a year. You can take more than a year without hearing about Tanin. It's possible, or Linyenye. But I believe that maybe I could be the change, or there is someone who can be the change. For a start, we already had a former Miss SA who was from our township, but she like she is our. I'm sorry, calls keeps on coming in. We don't rest.
So, sure, that was a mouthful, hey. And I do understand that um, the I don't want to say the peak, the the beacon name, the core
Mm.
of pageant, like the main pageants always happen in the major cities like Gauteng and whatnot. Like we see it with Miss SA, Miss Earth, and all of that and everything. So it is very hard to dream when you are in those places like in Tanin to say, Wutsi, I want to reach that platform because it's like it's an overreach. Like, how do you, like the way that you said that you would always speak it to existence, but people didn't understand. And it was an advantage for you because when people don't understand, they can't help you because I don't get it, you know. But you just strived to get to where you wanted to be, which is what really propelled you to be the person that you are today that we see, right? And you mentioned that you really, really believe that you can be the change that they need where you come from. And you also touched on the fact that you guys have a Miss Essay who was from there, but it was not as impactful as you guys had hoped. Now, how do you aim or how do you plan on being that impactful person from where you come from?
Um, I'm one person who's very active in community engagements. If they say there's a march, I'm there. Whenever I'm home, if there's a march, gender-based violence, what we are going to march at the court, I'm there. If there's an event happening at the community hall, I'm there. Like I always make sure that my face shows up. Sometimes I would even go an extra mile to asking to be an MC or just being an usher. So it's the little things that can make you to be recognized. Now I make sure that I get as much involved as possible into anything that happens in my community, be it political, I don't care. As long as it's something that I feel like I could leave a mark, I'm there. So for me to one day be recognized in bigger places, I believe that it could be a great start for the youth around my community to also dream big and not give up on themselves, because I've noticed that Limpopo has talent.
Yeah.
If you check right now, we have Lukompo trending.
Yes.
It's something that, yes, and I look at some of them and I'm like, I grew up with these people. If they could continue doing what they are doing, then we could um, be on the map and we could actually be on the outlook. So that's exactly what I'm also hoping for myself. I don't just sit back just because now I have decided to move to Pretoria. It means my life must now revolve around here. I have actually moved to the side because I felt it had more greater opportunities. But
Mm-hmm.
I always I always keep in mind that charity begins at home. Whatever I do, I make sure that my leaders from home knows, and I get to celebrate with people from home, so that at least my community can also be recognized, and I can also help those who are sitting in the closet to come out and be who they are. Because there was a point where I was also shy. It's just that when it comes to this, you see what we're having, I come out of the
Yeah.
closet. But on a normal day, you would come across me on the street and you wouldn't even notice that it's me. You wouldn't recognize me because I get to be quite to a point that you would doubt that I'm a model. It's sometimes even difficult for me to make new friends, but it's life. I can't be perfect in anything, in everything. There
Yeah.
is something that I must lack, but I am working towards that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also, I think it also comes with age, you know. As you grow older, it becomes a bit awkward to like interact in social spaces.
Yeah.
Now, I absolutely love what you just highlighted right now. The core of effective advocacy is active citizenship. I mean, if you're not involved, you're not really advocating for it. You know, if you're not involved, you're not really doing it and you're not touching anyone, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. Thank you for that. Now, I want to dive deeper into your current title, you know. Congratulations on being crowned Miss Tshwane Regions.
Thank
Now,
you.
to fill me in on that a bit more, what is Miss Tshwane Regions? Sorry, what do you guys stand for? What are you guys about? You know, the whole platform, Jay.
Miss Tony Regents, it's a provincial pageant because I can't say it's a national pageant. It's a provincial pageant. It's remember we have every province has it's divided into districts.
Yes.
It's a province, yes, it's divided into districts. So us here in Gauteng, we have Tshwane and we have Johannesburg. We have the city of Tshwane and the city of Johannesburg. And Miss Tshwane Regions, it means now I'm the face of the Tshwane district. So
Mm-hmm.
our pageant, it's more about women. I can't say women upliftment because we have also the Mr. Tshwane region. So it's all about the youth development and upliftment,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it's a great start for one to now get to engage with the Tshwane public, be it in the municipality or locals. It's a great start for one to be able to get to know what the Tshwane region is all about. And it has actually helped me to now get to be able to talk to different tribes because I'm nobody. Now I have
Mm-hmm.
to engage with someone who's Xhosa or Ndebele. I have to talk to someone in Emea who I have to obviously use English or try to speak Pitorital so that I could get sponsors. And it's actually opening greater opportunities for me because if you can check on my profile, I was actually sponsored by the Tshwane regions a month ago to go attend the Miss SA masterclass. Maybe they believe that the Miss Tshwane regions could one day be their Miss SA. I don't know. So it's for me, it's a great start for my journey to end up where maybe I would love to be. I don't want to say Miss SA or Miss World. You will be surprised. You will see when the time is right. But the title is actually so very much advantageous for me, more especially because I am not only a model, I am a facilitator. I deal with different kind of people every day. As I have stated on my bio that I work with people living with disabilities. My title plus the type of job that I do creates more of an advantage for me to actually stand out whenever I have to engage with different stakeholders because they get to understand that I am not choosy, but I am for everyone.
Sure, now that is amazing, amazing, man. You mentioned that um, like a myriad of things. I'm trying to recall that you got sponsored, you went to the master classes, you engaged with the municipality, and there's also people with disabilities. Like, you are the literal definition of being for everyone. Now, I want to look um, deeper into you facilitating for people with disabilities. Like, what inspired you to go into that? Was it the advocacy of the pageant, or was it like a personal thing, or is it part and parcel of the whole Miss Tshwane regions movement?
No. The facilitating part, okay, I also don't understand how I end up. I'm not sure if it's my career or what, but it's the job that I do. Remember, these people who study education, and
Totally.
with my background of like going to school and sometimes being naughty, I always knew that teaching is not for me. So I after matric, I wanted to study law,
Mhm.
LLB. Somewhere somehow I ended up studying HR, and then there was a subject called management of training, which I was not a fan of. Not only to realize after my graduation that I should have actually taken that one module serious. That's when I started being into facilitation. And the most surprising part is that, okay, my first job as a facilitator, I worked in an organization called Love Life. I was
Mhm.
I was facilitating for health and what something in health. I would always go into high schools and talk to the learners about health, how to prevent themselves from getting HIVs, distribute um, preps and condoms in clinics. Fast forward, I went to another company where I thought I'm going to be an administrator. Suddenly, I'm a facilitator again. After that, I went to TUT. I thought I was going to be an admin assistant. Now, when there's events, I have to be the presenter. After that, now that's when I ended up into the company that I am working. And then that's actually okay. TUT, I dealt with people living with disabilities. So it wasn't too much. It was sometimes difficult because they are not exactly like myself. I would get emotional here and there.
Yeah.
But now that I work with them full time, it's nothing. And I noticed that they are actually what I love dealing with every day. Now, facilitation, it's training. You know, there's learnerships,
Yeah.
there's internships. So yes, in most cases, there she is. Unkahila, please move. I'm sorry. She decided to join us. So I'm a facilitator for learners, for learnerships,
Mm-hmm.
but I only train learners living with disability, not just you
Yeah.
or myself. No, I deal with people living with albinism, the ones that have visual impairment, disabilities. Others cannot hear. Others are on wheelchairs. Others are using crutches.
Mm.
So that's something that's actually motivating me to even push better, work better, because I see different people with different challenges every day, and I have to train those people to get qualifications at the end of the day. That's something that's other than obviously there's little lady here with me. I feel like those people are my daily reason to wake up and be a better person. I
Yeah.
feel like I live for them so that they can actually be like me, get their qualifications and do better. So yes, I am a facilitator. I am an HR, but enjoy facilitating.
Sure. Wow, that is amazing. Yo, I can imagine that it must be a very challenging thing to do, especially in our age, it's very hard to comprehend a lot of things. Yo, that's big. That is really, really big. Now, I know you have entered a lot of pageants, right? What would you now say has been the most challenging things in your pageantry journey?
Oh, financial support, and honestly speaking, I'm gonna be honest, I'm sorry if they are watching, having to get support from my family.
Yeah.
that,
Shame.
that's something that I never really want to talk about it, but they know that I will one day have to address it.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's very much difficult going to a competition where you are alone. You
Yeah.
are competing. You all you have to do is to make sure that you get supporters from the stage, from the crowd, and that's something that I've always experienced. I feel like it even got worse after I disappointed them by having a child. Maybe they believed that I would stop doing what I love. But my daughter is actually part of the reason why I keep pushing on doing what I love so that I can also be able to support her in whatever hobby she decides to fall in love with. So the most challenging part about myself is the fact that I could enter Miss Tshwane regions today, um, go compete, but go alone.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
would, I would, I would now have to figure out a way of finding supporters from the crowd that doesn't even know me, which is something that happened on my crowning day. I had sold tickets, but those tickets, let me just say, I had bought those tickets with my money because I didn't have anyone to buy.
Sure.
And I went on stage with my daughter like, it was just me and her. So I had to ask someone to look after her. And she was actually my cheerleader. I don't know how it happened. I ended up being the queen with just my daughter as my supporter.
Sure.
So the fact that I would go to such a pageant that's actually being recognized, but go there alone, it's hurting. And the fact
Yeah.
that sometimes I would need to um need have I would really need financial assistance from my family, but I can't get it. Instead, I would get it from my local counselor or just a stranger also is also very much challenging. But I'm grateful that I keep pushing, and I cannot force anyone to do something that they are not willing to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I can only imagine how difficult it must be because when we attempt in pursuing our dreams, the people that we expect to support us the most are our family, when your friends don't support you, you kind of understand because they are not your family, so you understand. That must be difficult because most of the time, these are the people that are supposed to be there when you come back from practice and you be like, oh, I had such a horrible time today. You just need to vent. And especially now with you having your daughter, it would be nice having, even if it's your sister or your brother, and they are there cheering for you, somebody taking care of your daughter whilst you are there taking strides to your dreams. Yo,
Yeah.
yo, I'm really sorry that you have to go through such, it's really excruciating. But you are on Bogoto that you are, and I'm sure your daughter will grow up, and learn from you and draw so much inspiration because you stopped at nothing to pursue what you love and what you believe is destined for you. And also the financial aspect. I think every pageant girl knows Wusi, it's always a challenge, especially if you don't have support from your family. You always need money. You have to get money to get somewhere. You need money to look good. And, a big part of pageantry that we don't talk about is looking good, being presentable. Yo, girl, like, wow, yay. I'm glad you even won. They always say that your biggest supporter is actually strangers. That random person who didn't even know you took care of your daughter, made sure ukuthi khona your daughter was okay. And I'm sure you were comfortable to the point where you were able to perform at your utmost best and end up winning. Yo,
I was very
girl.
much. But obviously, I would sometimes get distracted, checking up on her
Mm,
while I'm on stage. It's just that once a person is into this pageantry thing, you now have to even learn how to be manipulative.
yeah.
So I already knew how to manipulate. I already prepared myself on how to manipulate the judges, be a parent while I'm on stage, and
Mhm.
also compete. That's why I say I don't understand how I ended up winning. It was just, let me just say, it was just God working overtime. I was doing my part and God was doing the rest. But most of my focus was on my daughter because I had to make sure that she's okay. Being on the backstage and having to only check up on her when I have to go on stage was difficult. But I'm glad I won.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad I won.
That's really, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yo, now I want you to tell me, how do you stay balanced in the midst of everything, being a mom, being a model, and working, being a facilitator? Like, how do you find balance in everything?
From the first day when from the first day when I held her, I knew that she was mine. Remember, I was raised by my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
and I never wished for my child to go through the. Can I please, Nkahile, please sit properly? Move, please go right. So I never wanted my daughter to go through the same situation that I went through.
Yeah.
And I I've I've always been confident that I would never stay home. I knew that I had my daughter when I was doing my final
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
for the last year she survived through NSFAS.
Same.
And when I graduated, fortunately, the very same year when I finished my course, on that very same December, I got a job.
Wow.
So my daughter never experienced struggling like I did. She never she has never been to a situation whereby she would need, not want, she would
Mm-hmm.
need something and I wouldn't be able to provide. Because since then, even when a contract ends somewhere, I would get another contract somewhere else. So, um, balancing parenting and working pageantry, I guess it's because I love what I do. So
Mm-hmm.
I know that when it's time to go to work, I go to work, she goes to daycare.
Yeah.
And on weekends, if I have a charity work to do, she's there, she's my back. And I feel like serves more, it serves as more of an advantage that I have to go visit a certain family with my daughter by my side. It actually gives me more points. So she's also assisting in this whole journey. And having to be a student, I'm a student myself, I'm still pursuing my studies.
Mm-hmm.
When I study, she knows that she has to write. She actually had to learn how to write by the age of 2 years. I don't know, 2 years, 9 months, somewhere there. She was already learning how to write. She already had books and colorings to do.
Yeah.
So when I have to study, she writes. When I have to study, she writes. But now, like after 8, when she has to sleep, I know that she's traveling like now. And working, yeah, working when I'm at work, she's at daycare. When I'm studying, she's writing or sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
When I have to go on a pageant, I go with her and talk to God about it, that someone must just take over. And yeah, someone just comes and take over. So
Sure.
I don't know how I balance, but everything just works out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ish. In the midst of everything just gelling up, women are such heroes, man. Like you are superhumans, you have I think all of these things like simultaneously and it's seamless. People can just look at it from a point of view. You would say, it's easy stuff, and it's not. But because you are that person, you make it look very easy, effortless, because it's like you said, it's the things that you love and the things that you really deem as important to you,
Hmm.
so you make time, what to place kuphi kanjani. Yeah, girl. Wow. And then I would like to ask you the golden question now. And it is, what does beauty means to you? Like when you hear the word beauty, what comes to your mind?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say I believe. For me, beauty is something that is within. It's not about the looks, but it's your personality. Your character actually would describe your beauty. Because we do have most people who do not have the looks. But but once you start engaging with them, you would actually start seeing this shining and brighting person in them. It's because of how they get to engage with you and what they bring to you, the impact that they
Yeah,
bring in your life. So beauty, it's not about looks, but it's something that's within your personality and the impact that you bring into the lives of individuals. It's actually what describes um, beauty within a person. I'm going to go to sleep. I can't get it off.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like they say that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It's only unfortunate that in the present time and generation that beauty is equalized to like your physical attributes more than your internal, like your personality, your brains and everything. Sure, that was a mouthful. Thank you so much for pulling through. And in closing, I would like to ask you to say anything that comes to your mind, for the viewers, anything that is in your heart, anything that's on your mind right now. It could be advice, it could be word of the day or your mantra? Anything?
What can I say? Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. And whatever you put in mind, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that you feel can build a better person in you, go for it. Don't let anyone decide. Don't let anyone decide for you. Just believe in yourself. That's all I can say. Never give up on your dreams and believe in yourself. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yo, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Making time is not easy, like you mentioned, you have so many things on your plate and you sacrificed your Friday nights with us. We are really grateful. From Her Majesty and I, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Until next time, good night. Have a stunning weekend further.
Thank you for having me and bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. I don't know. I don't know how to exit.
You can click on the arrow on the top right corner. Can you see it? The
The.
cross, yes, the cross. Did I say arrow? Sorry, it's the cross. Top right corner.
Okay, bye.
Sure, giving us a very broader perspective into her pageantry journey. Miss Tshwane Regions 2025. She is Ouma Francis Shai. I'm sure you guys also enjoyed the interview as much as I did. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We do appreciate your time. We do appreciate your support. Now, we will be back next Tuesday with another amazing episode, and we will be joined by Miss Passionate South Africa Ambassador Queen 2025. Stay tuned for that and keep it locked on our social media platforms for further updates, like I mentioned earlier on. We are on X, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok as Her Majesty Organization across all platforms. And also, if you would like to advertise with us as a pageant business owner, you can touch us on email at hermajestyorganization@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys, for myself and the team. Have a great weekend further. Thank you. Bye. Until next time.